Hey guys, in this video I'm going to go over the first 4 questions on your 9.11 homework assignment. Okay, it's labeled circles and applications on the coordinate plane. Okay, let's go ahead and start with question 1. Question 1 says, write the standard and general equations, then find the area of each circle. Okay, so if we're going to start with the standard equation, I'm going to need to identify the center of the circle. So this is number 1. The center of the circle looks like it's located at 0, 3. And the radius appears to be 1, 2, 3, 4 units. Okay, let's go ahead and put this in standard form. X minus 0, well, minus 0, it's kind of unnecessary to write, so we'll just have x squared plus y minus 3 squared equals our radius squared, which is 16. Okay. Next, we're going to move this or convert this to general form. To convert this to general form, remember, we are just going to FOIL, okay, this statement. So I have x squared y minus 3 times itself. Okay, let's start the foiling process. That'll give me y squared minus 3y minus 3y plus 9 equals 16. Now remember, for this to be in general form, we need to have it going from the highest exponent to the lowest exponent, and it needs to be set equal to 0. So let's rewrite this as x squared plus y squared. That's going to become negative 6y, or minus 6y, and we're going to need to subtract the 16 to the other side. When we subtract the 16 to the other side, that's going to give us a negative 7. Okay, so I'm going to highlight some of my final answers, standard form and general form. Okay, the last thing the directions say are to find the area of the circle. Area of a circle is pi r squared. Given that my radius is 4, that's going to be pi times 4 squared. So that's going to be 16 pi. Now we're unsure of the units, but since we're working in area, we know that they're going to be square units. Here are my 3 final answers for question number 1. On to question 2. The directions are still the same. So let's start with identifying the center. And looking at the graph, it looks like it's at 1, negative 3. The radius appears to be 2 units long. Now we have enough information to write our standard equation. That's going to be x minus 1 squared, y minus a negative 3. If you subtract a negative 3, it becomes positive. And my radius squared, which is going to be 4. Okay, now that we have our standard equation, or standard form, we can now move this into general form. Okay, to do that, we're just going to FOIL both of these terms and then simplify. All right, foiling my first piece, that's going to be x squared minus x plus 1. It's going to be y squared plus 3y plus 9. Okay, we can start combining like terms. It looks like we can combine these like terms, and those, giving me x squared minus 2x plus y squared plus 6y plus 10 equals 4. Now remember, this is not in general form until it's written from the highest exponent to the lowest exponent and it's set equal to 0. So let's do that now. X squared plus y squared minus 2x plus 6y. And I need to subtract this 4 over, so it's set equal to 0. When I subtract the 4 over, we're left with this as our final answer. Okay, the last thing it wanted us to find was the area, so I'll come off to the side. Area is pi r squared. Our radius is 2. 2 squared is 4. So the area is 4 pi square units. All right, let's do the last two before I stop this video. Okay, question 3 and 4, the directions say write the equation in standard form, then sketch the circle on the graph provided. So the first one, writing number 3 in standard form, we're working with y squared plus 4x minus 20 minus 2y equals negative x squared. Okay, I'm going to add this x squared to the other side, and I'm going to go ahead and group my y's and group my x's. When I add the x squared to the other side, I'm going to get x squared. I'm going to group it with this x, leave a blank. Now let's move on to y's. Y squared minus 2y. We'll leave a blank. And remember, you're going to want to add the constant over to the other side. So that's going to be a positive 20 when you add it over. I'll leave 2 more blanks so I don't forget to add everything to both sides of the equation. All right, to come up with this piece, I'm going to do b divided by 2 squared, which is just 4. For this one, it's negative 2 divided by 2 squared, which is just 1. Next, we can factor, that's going to be x plus 2 squared. This one will be y minus 1 squared. And this side simplifies to 25. Okay, so I have written the equation in standard form. Now the last thing it asks is for me to graph this. So I will sketch a graph down here. All right, my center is going to be, looks like my center is going to be negative 2, 1. And my radius is the square root of this number, or 5. So negative 2, 1. I'm going to go up 5, down 5, left 5, right 5. And then to the best of your ability, sketch in the circle. Okay? Final answer for number 3. Let's now move to question 4. The directions are the same. We're going to start with, this one's a little bit different. Let me go ahead and give myself a graph to work with, so I can talk through the given information. Okay, the given information says the center lies in the first quadrant. Okay, the center lies in the first quadrant. And it's tangent to the following lines. Well, you're going to have to know how to graph those lines. Let's start with x equals 8. X equals 8 is going to look like this line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, next one we're going to graph is y equals 3. Y equals 3. And the last one we're going to graph is x equals 2. Okay, so, oops, let me label this. It says the center lies in the first quadrant, and the circle is tangent to all of these circles. If it's tangent, okay, that means these lines are intersecting the circle in exactly one spot. That means that my diameter is the distance from this line to this line, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which means my radius is 3. Okay, well, if this is one of the tangent lines, okay, and my radius is 3, it looks like we're going to have to count my diameter from here down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my center will be here. That'll be one endpoint, one endpoint, one endpoint, and the other. I can now sketch in my circle. Okay, so that's what my circle looks like. Now that I know what my circle looks like, we need to come up with the equation. Okay, well, to come up with the equation, you need to know the center and the radius. The center appears to be at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, comma 0. So this equation is going to be x minus 5 squared plus y squared equals our radius squared, which is 9. This would be the final answer to question 4. I'm now going to stop this video and I will work out the remaining homework questions on the next one.